So we're going to do a very quick one around this MRW200 Casio watch. I picked this up for the frankly ridiculous price of £11.99 in Argos in the UK. It was in their Black Friday sale, but I didn't buy it on Friday, and it was well after the Black Friday sale, but picked up for the ridiculous price of £12.99. I went and had a look at the specs on Casio's website. I'm slightly shocked that Casio was suggesting the dial width on this is 44.6 millimeters. I can't get anywhere close to that. I suspect they may be including the crown guards, which I wouldn't. For me, I don't think that's part of the body of the watch. And I have it coming in at 42 millimeters. I do agree with their calculation of the lug to lug at 48. The lug width is 18 millimeters, and there is a 11 millimeters in terms of the thickness of the watch. So as the Casio 5125 module in it, it has I normally say a screwed down case back, a screwed on case back, but this one doesn't have a screw down crown. But it does have 100 meters of water resistance, and I have had this in water, so I'm fairly confident that that's right. It has a resin mineral crystal, therefore I will be able to buff it up with Polywatch, which is a good thing because I will be scratching it. And in terms of what you get on the dial, so you have very simple hands. We do have this unidirectional bezel. I'm not a great fan of that. It's frictionless. Just feels a bit strange given the number of dive watches I've had in my hand. It is a bit odd. There is a minute tracker around the outside. We have, I have to get this right, Arabic numerals from 1 to 12 all the way around. There's no 3 because that's taken up by a framed day date window. And then inside that there's another set of Arabic numerals from 13 to 24 to give you the full 24-hour readout. It says Casio quartz above the pinion, and it says water resistant 100 meters below the pinion. I say the hands are fairly basic, but they are white and they are loomed, but we will come back to the loom in a little while. It has a resin band. Not bad actually, it's quite soft, it's quite flexible, not one of these hard nasty things. It does have that odd thing, so you do get that odd shape, so you do get a slight indentation on the wrist when you're wearing it. The crown itself is unbranded, a little bit of a disappointment. However, they haven't taken the time to brand the hardware on the rest of the watch, which I think is impressive. And the strap itself is substantial. So I have this on my bigger wrist, my left wrist, and I still have another 3 holes to go into. So this would comfortably fit 9-inch wrists, which is really, really impressive. It is a quartz watch. You can buy a £1 battery for it on eBay, replace it yourself. It's not hard, and it just keeps going and going and going. And that's the quick run round. Let's do the detailed specifications. Okay, let's do a quick run through the detailed specifications. So this one has, as discussed, has a dial width of 42 millimeters, has a very reasonable and wearable 48 millimeter lug to lug, has a strange lug width of 18 millimeters, and a thickness of 10.9 millimeters due to the quartz watch. It has the Casio Module 5215 movement in it, weighs a paltry 39 grams, has 100 meters of water resistance, and has a really nice acrylic crystal. So let's talk very quickly about the things I don't like, my gripes with this watch. And the first one is the unidirectional frictionless bezel. I suspect I don't like it because I'm just used to bezels that click when they go round and unidirectional bezels. So I don't really... I'm just too used to that and too stuck in my ways with it. There's nothing wrong with it. It works perfectly well, and there's no problems. Just in terms of choice, I'm not a big fan of it. The other thing that's a bit of a gripe with this is that the loom isn't great. You would have seen this. I do feel a bit mean saying that for an £11.99 watch. It does seem a bit harsh. But I have to judge all watches on the same criteria, and so I'm treating this one exactly the same. The loom kind of works, but it's not brilliant, and so again, that's it. But that's all really. There's a lot to be said for this watch, which I'm going to kind of get into now. And the first one really is just about the value for money. Now, I know it's more expensive and I got it in the sale, but £11.99 for a decent three-hander, Japanese movement, 100 metres of water resistance. I don't normally do this, but actually, just bear with a second. The watch comes in a pretty decent packaging. I mean, I've paid 30 quid for Tandorio watches before, and it's just arrived in a plastic bag. I don't know how Casio do it for this money. It's beyond me. So it is like a little cardboard watch stand in there. It is nicely done. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel tacky. Love the sea and the earth. Fair enough. And it does have in the back of it, I'm not going to take it out, but there is a fairly substantial instruction book in the back as well. Just remarkable value. I genuinely have no idea how they do it. Now, I know they sell a lot of these, but they must be. It's the only way you could do it and make any money at all. So very impressed by the general value for money, but also for things like that packaging, which is just so impressive. The second thing I like about it is I do like an acrylic crystal, because there is no doubt I am going to scratch it. These tend to be garden watches, or it's not a garden watch, it's going to be a beach watch. Whichever way, if you get sand on it, it's going to scratch. And therefore, knowing that it's acrylic and that you can actually just run a bit of polywatch over it and get that out is quite impressive. The third thing I like is just the clarity. It's a remarkably easy to read watch. Even the day date on it is very, very easy to read. So I think that's a really important thing. Visibility for a watch is very, very important. I am also impressed that they managed to get a day date complication onto the dial. I can't think of many watches at this sort of price point that come with a day date. Please let me know if you can think of any. The one that springs to mind is probably the Laurus Lumibright Field Watch, which I'm pretty sure has day date on it as well. But that one is a little bit more expensive than this. But again, just really good spec for what you get. The other thing that fascinates me, and I've seen much more expensive quartz watches that don't do this, the second hand seems to hit all of the markers. Now, it might be my febrile imagination taking over, but when I look at it, I think, no, that's right, let's hit that one, let's hit that one, let's hit the hour markers. That's incredible at this price. I've seen much, much more expensive watches that don't do that. And then the final thing is just, it's a bit of fun at this price. Build quality is good, it's comfortable to wear, it's light. So you can wear it on the beach, and let's be honest, if you lost it or it went underwater, you're not going to have any problems because of the water resistance. Even if you can't find it again at sort of 11 quid, it's not not going to be the end of the world. But I think these are fantastic watches. Even at £20, I think they're fantastic. So let's have a go at summing this watch up very, very quickly. At £11.99, this should be a no-brainer. It should be in everybody's watch collection. It's just a fantastic watch for the money. It's not perfect, but at this price, it more than represents good value for money. It represents excellent value for money. Easy to wear, good movement, and you could have a few. It comes in 28 gazillion different colourways. So you can get it in whatever colour suits you. I went for boring black and white, but if you want purple or green or yellow or red, if you want a camouflage one, I'm pretty sure I've seen a camouflage one too. However you want it, you'll find this watch. You can pick them up on eBay all day for a few quid. You can pick them up brand new for 11, 12 quid. What are you waiting for? I'd go and get one today. Really, all I want to say is have a fantastic 2025. Thank you for supporting and watching the channel. If you're a first-time watcher or if you've been with us from the start, just thank you. You're the reason I do all of this. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you have a fantastic 2025. I look forward to seeing you back in the new year. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.